Welcome, guys, to another episode of Match Report, and in this one, I want to be talking about today's match that took place between United and Aston Villa at Villa Park. And as you know, we have a great history there, winning every match virtually for the past 17 years. So we were going to this match as strong favourites due to obviously the history, but also the form shown by the two teams in this season's league so far. United, top the league, a point clear of the chasing pack, but Villa has been a stuttering start for him under the new manager Paul Lambert. So it was a match that the Reds going as very much the odds-on favourite, and the team is the core same. Group of players is present again with De Gea and the back four. The one major exception is that Chris Smalling comes in for Johnny Evans, who I felt has played very well so far. Johnny Evans, and his injury is odd and ill times, but you could say that it has fastened up Chris Smalling's rehab in the first team, because he has to go into the firing line straight away, meaning that he will get match finish much faster than he would have done sitting on the bench for most of the week. But there is a slight concern that it might be too soon for him. But again, you have to due to the injury crisis, we have to rush people in. Paul Scholes came into the team replacing Tom Cleverley. This, I thought, was alarm ringing in my head already. What happened last time when they played against Tottenham with the midfield overran and stuff like that. So that was one concern I had with Paul Scholes starting, and the rest of the lineup were the same. So for the start of the match, we dominated possession for the first 10-15 minutes, but again, with the addition of Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick in the middle, we didn't have a lot of people breaking from midfield, and I think that is one of the drawbacks, I should say, between the partnership of the two. Obviously, they're both pass masters, and Paul Scholes picking out 50-60 yards, while Michael Carrick is very clean and elegant in what he does with his passing ability, distributing it very simply, and sometimes doing a Paul Scholes-esque pass. But with the two, you don't get a lot of pace and also the kind of killing edge that you need inside the box. Paul Scholes, perhaps 5-10 years ago, might have had that edge, but his age, he has to basically be the anchor man of the midfield, and Michael Carrick, it's not his natural game, I believe, to bomb into the box and offering himself as the extra man, and creating the overlaps for people like Valencia and Ashley Young to deliver it in. So after the first 15 minutes, we didn't create much, I have to say. Had a few long shots here and there, but the passing was a bit lackadaisical and a bit sideways, and that's one of the problems that a lot of people see in our game. Shinji Kagawa, when he first came in, that's what he noticed as well. Instead of we going to penetrate a team, we usually utilize the flanks more than going through the middle, and that's what he said. He said that by playing that number 10 role, he would bring that, but unfortunately with his injury, we are unable to do that. We were hoping Rooney would have done it, but again, Paul Scholes and Carrick, doing the axis at the back, really dictate the play, and there was no tempo at all. So that was the massive drawback, I think, from the partnership. I don't think Paul Scholes' career is over by any stretch of the imagination, but I just think starting with Tom Cleverley and providing a platform for Paul Scholes to come in the second half and dictate the play is a much better way of be controlling and ultimately winning the game. Yeah, so we didn't have a lot of chances, and like I said, Aston Villa came back into the game very well. I have to say they defended well. Antonio Valencia, I thought, was a bit having one of his off days against a debutant in Stevens, who is a 22-year-old left back. Valencia ripped into Ashley Cole and obviously Andre Santos for the past fortnight, so everyone was expecting him to manhandle this this young kid on his debut. But again, I think Valencia just had one of those off days, and didn't deliver the end products that we usually come to associate with him, or even going past the guy for any stretch or any length of time, and often relying on Rafael instead doing the overlap or the inside ball to penetrate Aston Villa's defences. So in that way, I have to give credit to Aston Villa, I guess, for narrowing Valencia's options down to only Rafael. They had often had 2-3 men on him. Gabby Agbonlahor dropped him back, and Barry Bannon also come over to help the left back. So in that way, Paul Lambert obviously done his homework, recognising that Antonio Valencia would have been one of the danger men in our squad, and so acted upon that sufficiently. So I have to say that Valencia was well hearded all day long, and he was a bit blunt in his attacking force, but again with Valencia he always worked back and provided cover for Rafael when he needed it. We didn't, again, just like at Aston Villa, we didn't create much. It was a very frustrating half, with the possession we got. I thought that we could have done a lot more with it. Rooney and Van Persie didn't link particularly well, unlike the past occasions. So I'm not sure whether the excursions during midweek in the Champions League, away at Braga, took any energy out or anything, but there was a lack of edge and sharpness to a game that we come to usually associate with the last few weeks having such great fast start. So it was a stumbling start, and Aston Villa, to fairness, they pushed back, and on the stroke of half time, Andreas Weimann scored the opening goal. A side-footed shot went over the head of David De Gea. He might have felt disappointed that he didn't save it, but looking back at the replay, Gabby Agbonlahor was basically on top of him, and he couldn't see the shot when it was very powerfully struck. So it would have been harsh, I think, to criticise De Gea too much, but a keeper with his sort of reflexes, some people might have said that he might have kept it out. So that was a very bad time to concede from United's point of view, or any team's point of view, because it would have changed Selek's game plan, and also his talk during half time, because now, instead of being a draw, when you're looking for a winner, you're now looking for a way back into the game. And at half time, Selek reacted and brought on Chicharito, who's been on a goal scoring fest of late, rediscovering some of the form that he had in his first season at the Reds. And however, that didn't prove to have any major effect, because on the 50th minute, Andreas Weimann doubled his goal tally with after good work from Gabby Agbonlahor, beating Rafael on the right hand side of the pitch, crossing the ball low and hard over the ground, and Andreas Weimann peeled off Chris Smalling and Rio Ferdinand to have a tap in at the far post. Obviously, it's a very disappointing goal to concede so soon after half-time, shall I say. And again, it was really bad timing on our part, but you could also argue that because it was scored so early on in the second half, that we still had a lot of time to get back into the game. But 2-0 down, I really thought we were going to have one of our off days and enable our rivals to get back into the title contention, and it was a really difficult thing to watch because of, like I said, just the fluidity that we come to expect from United wasn't there. The passing wasn't there. Paul Scholes looked a bit off the pace, and I thought Selek had to bring on Tom Cleverley sooner to change and inject a bit of energy into the midfield. But sure enough, on the 58th minute, Paul Scholes, delivering one of his unique passes over the top, perfectly waited for Chicharito, who luckily was a bit fortunate with his first touch, but his finishing is lethal, that, and he squirmed it past Brad Guzan in the Aston Villa goal, making it 2-1, and from then you can tell the momentum shifted towards us, and after that I thought it was just by how many we were going to score, because it threatened that we were going to run over Villa. But again, we had to work hard for the goal, and this time it was again down the right hand side of the pitch where Rafael and Antonio Valencia teamed up. Rooney ultimately placing the ball over to Rafael behind Agbonlahor, who had gone to sleep for a slight second. Rafael dinked it over to the back post. Hernandez hitting back across the goal, and a hit of Ron Vlaar. It could have been. People say it's an own goal, but I'm sure Vlaar won't want to claim it, and if so, Chicharito said he'll claim it, obviously, and that's what any striker do. You have to just get it anywhere near around a goal, and Chicharito proving his substitute kind of prowess, replicating Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's kind of like unique ability to change the game, even though you have been a substitute, and that's what we have in our squad a lot. The depth of quality is really special, I think, in this strike force, especially with the likes of Hernandez and Welbeck in reserve. Not a lot of teams can even dream of having Welbeck and Hernandez as their starting strikers, never mind being their subs to Rooney and Van Persie. So in that regard, it's a special force that we have right there in the moment, and Hernandez proving his worth once again, getting back at 2-2. Aston Villa actually had a very good chance minutes after. Again, that man Andres Weimann, after a great cross from Barry Bannon, headed a bullet of a header into the goal, but the hair saved. It was close to him, but he had to react because it was such a hard header that he had to react and parry it out. So I thought that was a significant moment, because if Aston Villa had quickly struck back to 3-2, then again the momentum would have shifted back towards them, and it would have been very hard for us to get perhaps another 2 goals to win the game or something like that. But we continued to create, and with the introduction of Anderson, I thought again we played with the 3-man midfield at times, and those 3 really gave the Aston Villa the run around. And I thought Alex, utilising Anderson very well, who has the eye for the penetrating pass, if you like. So again, we created chances, and Robin Van Persie was very unlucky not to get on the score sheet. First, he had a header 2 yards out that struck the bar. Looking at the replay, I thought that he should have scored, because a striker of his ability should definitely put a header 2 yards out from goal away, and that would have done it 3-2. And again, a few minutes later, it was a really unlucky, actually, a great effort. He dragged it back from the right hand side back onto his favoured left foot, unleashed an unstoppable shot that again struck the crossbar, and it just seemed like it was going to be his day today, after his great start, and it looked like the Reds were going to cruise to a 2-2 draw, but the momentum was still with the Reds, I thought, and it was a fantastic winner from that man again, Hernandez, on the 87th minute. Van Persie with the delivery into the box. Hernandez, great movement, coming back around the back of a defender. I think it was Stevens, the left back, and he headed the ball. For such a little guy, 5'8", 5'9", I think Hernandez is. He does have a great spring, but this time it was a low header, and he still adjusted very well, and his instinctive ability in the box is unique. And again, that comparison with Solskjaer is not going to go away anytime soon, just because the way they play is very, very similar, and obviously the goal scoring record in comparison between the two speaks for themselves. So Chicharito getting the match ball, a hat-trick hero, albeit people will dispute whether he got that second goal, but he will claim it anyway. From this Twitter message, as you can see, he feels that he's definitely got the hat-trick, and again he's very happy. And from the interview with Sky Sports, it just seems like he's one of the good guys in football who trains and play very well, and is consummate professional that a lot of kids should look after. He doesn't complain. You don't see him in the media, limelight, or anything like that. So I think Sir Alex has got a gem, and obviously we have a gem in Hernandez, and he proves it again today. The man in the match, I don't think could have gone to anyone else, but Chicharito, with his impact coming on as a sub and changing the game for the Reds. So congratulations to Hernandez, and hopefully we won't have any more scares like this. I think it's the 5th time that a 3-2 scoreline has been involved with the Reds. So obviously they want us United supporters to have an early live, suffering a lot of heart attacks from all the excitement of football, but I think we wouldn't change that for anything in the world. So, overall a great victory that moves us now 4 points clear of Chelsea, our nearest contender, who is obviously going to play tomorrow against Liverpool. So I think it'll be a hard game for them, and hopefully Liverpool, our oldest rival, will do us a favour too. So overall, a great win for the Reds. Chicharito getting a hat-trick and 4 points clear. You couldn't ask much more from weekend. So there you guys have it for another episode of Match Report. I hope you like this video, guys. Please rate, comment below on any of the topics, Chicharito, whether he deserved to start, etc. And more importantly, please subscribe to the channel for more content. You can follow me on Twitter at ManUnitedDaily, or visit the website ManUnitedDaily.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.